Amber, I changed the passcode to my kids' screen time, and those little shits saw it in the glass window and shared it with each other.
Of course they did. So you got outsmarted by a pane of glass.
I sure did.
But at least you didn't change your screen time password and then completely forget what it was like I did. So
our kids are totally being raised by the algorithm, and they're learning how to be smarter than we are.
Of course they are. Smartphones, social media, AI, location sharing, the entire internet is right in their pocket.
And somehow we're supposed to figure all this out and know what to do.
Yeah. So today we are talking screen time, online safety, digital drama, and whether spying on your kid is protective or invasive.
And a round of Snatched Up or Sketched Out that may or may not get us canceled.
Not canceled. We just got started.
I'm Jen.
And I'm Amber.
And this is Snatched Up. So, if you like the podcast, do us a favor. Stop what you're doing right now. And on the platform that you're listening to us, go and hit follow.
Yes, and make sure to give us that 5-star review.
We promise you won't be disappointed. Okay, Amber. So, what phone age did you get a cell phone?
All right. It wasn't until I started driving. So it was like 16, and it was one of those nice little flippy phones that you had where you had to type if you were going to text, which texting really wasn't even out by the time I was 16. But when it did start, you had to hit the button 3 times just to get to a C.
Well, hey, I'm even older than that because I remember when cell phones did come out, and at first they were mounted in your car.
Oh, God.
Yes, they were mounted. And I remember because my dad owned a car dealership that was a big thing. And then it was a bag that you carried that you had in your car because you had to keep it plugged in.
Oh, my God.
And then it moved to these big, huge, it looks like the ones that you see that call the military in.
Okay, I didn't see those.
Yeah. I'm showing my age right now.
No.
Yeah.
No.
But, back then, we didn't have the things that we see on our phones. Computers were barely a thing back then.
Right. Everything you saw on TV.
Yes.
I was telling the kids the other day, y'all have no clue how good you guys have it, because when you wanted to see what was coming on television, you had to go to the TV guide channel and sit there and wait for it to scroll by the channel so you could see what was coming on for the week. And then if you missed it, you had to sit there and wait for another 10 minutes for the channel to come around again.
It's crazy that the Jetsons, if you ever watched the Jetsons, everything that came true from the Jetsons, and then also the Simpsons, they say, right?
Yes, the Simpsons. That's too
But remember how crazy we used to think that it would be to be able to see your doctor by your phone? And now on demand is the only thing that...
Yeah, that is so crazy. So now that we do have this technology, what age do you think is the right age for your child to have a phone?
So I remember I was going to not give them a phone until they got to high school. I was going to hold my ground because I didn't even let Charlie watch TV till she was 2 years old because I read an article about how it can stunt their intelligence.
Oh my God.
So the poor kid didn't watch TV. I'm not kidding. I was crazy. You're always crazier with your first kid.
Yeah. And then the second one comes and you're just grabbing stuff up off the floor.
You're like, oh, let me clean this off for you with your mouth.
Pop it right back in.
And by the third, you're letting him throw knives. So,
I haven't had the third yet. We're still waiting.
But no, we didn't have to deal with this kind of thing. But with Charlie, I was like, oh, I'm going to hold out. She's not getting one until she gets to 9th grade. Then in 6th grade, she went to a music appreciation class.
Yep.
And they had to do things on their cell phone.
Yep.
And Charlie was the only kid in the class. Well, there was another kid. And they had to share these little tablets.
Because they didn't
half the time the tablets didn't work.
Yeah.
And so then if the tablet didn't work or another kid was using it, then Charlie had to wait her turn. And she was so embarrassed.
Yeah.
And so I caved because I didn't want her to be the kid that had to use it.
My story is actually completely relatable to that. It wasn't 6th grade, but it was in 5th grade. And it was the same thing. Bryant was the only one in the room, and they were using their phones for something. Now, he had an iPad, but I don't even think it had like a cellular service on it or whatever. So, it was the same exact thing. They asked how many people have cell phones, and everyone had one except for him. So I did the same thing. And it wasn't because let's do what everyone else does. It was because that was what they were using
to your kid.
It's that, but then they were also that was what they were using to instruct or to use, in the classroom, was to use the cell phone. So he did get it I was wanting to wait until 6th grade, but I did give it to him in 5th grade because of that exact reason. And now I made Hartley wait too. So she didn't get hers until 5th grade.
Well, so Sammy is going into 5th grade and she's trying to work me for her phone. But I'm like, no, 6th grade. Yeah. But then social media, my kids didn't get until their freshman year.
Yeah. Bryant was actually telling
And that was Instagram. Charlie didn't get TikTok until she was a junior. And I can remember her telling me and crying to me, and it's like, I'm the only junior that has screen time.
Yeah.
And that's not allowed to have TikTok. And of course, they know how to backdoor it anyways. Yeah. Snapchat was an absolute no because the messages disappear.
Yeah.
So I was really, really, really strict with Charlie. And I think that in seeing her complaints and seeing how she wants to say I ruined her life. So
I think all of our kids think we ruined their lives until they get older and they realize. Bryant just got Instagram in 9th grade too. I let him have Instagram first, and then I just let him have TikTok in the middle of his 10th grade year. So, and he did try to sneak and get Snapchat. Yeah. I think you were the one that told me about. He's like, Miss Jenn ratted me out. But he is such a good kid. I'm going to brag on him that I will say, even though he did it, he actually had already deleted it because he felt so bad. He's like, I had it for like 2 days, or I don't even know if it was 2 days, but we talked about it, and then he got in trouble. He was grounded for even downloading it, but he did. He showed me. I went through his phone, and buddy, he didn't have it on there anymore. He had already deleted it. So
I don't know if you remember this, but before it was TikTok, it was Musical.ly.
I don't.
Yeah. So at first it was Musical.ly, and the kids would use it to dance to music and stuff like that. It changed from Musical.ly to TikTok.
Okay.
So I did think that I was letting Charlie have something, and then I took it away because I saw a video of her and her friend sliding down a banister from the 2nd story, and I'm like, absolutely not. We are getting rid of this now. So I made her get rid of it, and then that's when it turned into TikTok. But it is tough. It's that battle because there are some parents that are like, okay, I'm just going to give it to them, not fight the battle, and I'm going to censor it.
Yeah. They've got it in 1st or 2nd grade now.
Right. And then there's other parents that are over the top and,
which ours would say we are.
And I have become more lenient as I go through kids, right? Because I learned with Charlie, and now Chloe's got a little bit more leniency. Now Sammy has something called Cover Star, which is only for kids.
I've never heard of that.
That allows her to make little makeup tutorials and post stuff like that, but it's only for kids. I feel like it's a little safer, but my problem with it is chasing the likes.
Yeah.
I don't want that dopamine and the chasing the likes.
Yeah.
A police officer told me that Snapchat, even though the messages disappear for the parents, they keep everything backed up on a server. And for the police to investigate, Snapchat actually has the most data that they provide to the police departments.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's never really lost.
The reason that I am so strict is because I am worried about predators. I'm worried about people reaching our kids and them seeing things that they're too young to know.
Yeah. I saw this little commercial, and it was talking about how you wouldn't let your kids talk to strangers or do all these things. And it showed this kid going to bed and kid having the phone in the room, and it was literally like letting in all kind of stuff just because they have so much access right there on their phone. I saw that commercial and I was like, oh my God, this is so true. You're literally opening the door for anything when you give your kid that cell phone. And if you're not monitoring it and checking and making sure that they're not getting into anything that they don't need to, and not necessarily that they do, but the people that are out there that are looking for kids to do things.
So how much screen time do you give your kids?
Well, as I said earlier, I cannot remember the password, and I have not been able to get back onto it. So right now they have free reign. I think they have figured it out between themselves, and there's a a pact
They
to
blocked
not.
you
They
out.
blocked me out. I have been locked out as a parent, and they think it's hilarious. I changed it because I need to update all their stuff. I'm going to take this off at certain times because I had to turn it off for Bryant at one point during the middle of the school day because he was using it too much. And somewhere right shortly after that, I had to change it again because one of them figured it out and they share it amongst themselves. Like you said, like they'll share things with each other and they'll be friends when it comes to that.
Yeah.
But
deceiving us.
Yes. Yeah. But so still have not gotten the password back yet. So right now there's screen time.
Now, Amber has screen time.
I have. Yes. Their screen time is unlimited unless I just take the device physically away.
To clarify, Sammy doesn't have a phone, but she does have an iPod.
Yeah.
And so with the iPod.
Or an iPad.
iPod.
Okay.
Yeah. It's an iPod. It looks like a phone. I know a lot of parents will give their kids their old phones too.
Yes.
That they can use their old phones and they only connect to Wi-Fi, which is basically what an iPod is. She doesn't have cell service, stuff like that.
But she can get on the Wi-Fi here.
Is that nobody has landlines anymore.
No, not anymore.
And so that's another thing. So as your kids are getting older, a lot of parents give their kids phones because they don't have a landline.
Get in touch with them.
Now for us, we use the Alexa as a home phone. But if our Wi-Fi goes out, you don't have anything.
Yeah. So that is the good thing about obviously having phones. We have the access to it now is that you are able to be in touch with your child at all times. You could not do that back when we were going to school.
Yeah.
You sent your kid off to school and if they forgot something or whatever, they weren't texting you to come check them out.
But
anymore.
that's probably a good thing because had I been able to just call my parents whenever, I already skipped enough school.
Oh God.
Sammy's phone is limited to 2 hours of screen time a day, but she asks constantly for more time. And so during the summer, I'm okay with her having a little bit more time.
Obviously, she's home from school.
Yeah. But during the school year, I'm like, no, we're going to stick to the 2 hours a day.
Yeah. Well, before I was locked out, we talked about this. It's hard for me to kind of gauge too, because Hartley uses her iPad for art. Like she is constantly drawing on it. She has the digital pen. She has certain animation apps and stuff and Procreate and all these art apps that she is literally constantly drawing on. That is something I want her to do. Obviously, that is creative and she enjoys it. And
she's got like 200,000 views on her drawings on
it's
YouTube.
Over 1 million.
Oh, wow.
I told her, I was like, we want to be like you when we grow up.
Yeah, we're jealous.
Yeah, we're jealous.
Totally jealous.
So, but yeah, she'll post her artwork on there and she's continuing to post. When we sat there and talked about that too, I was like, I want you to know, not everybody is going to be nice. You're going to have some haters. And I remember that.
We've got some haters.
Yeah. Do we?
Just one.
Just one. But I had to sit down and have a conversation with her. She's begging for a TikTok account, guys. And right now, because she wants to post her artwork so bad. And she's like, but it's like a business. And Bryant overheard this conversation.
She is a salesperson.
She is. Bryant overheard this conversation. He looks at me and he goes, if you let her have a TikTok account, and I didn't get one until 10th grade, I'm going to be so mad. I was like, I know. But anyway, so we had that conversation about people not always going to say the nice thing. And so when she got a comment that wasn't so nice and she posted it and pinned it and she goes, yay, my first hater. I've successfully made it now.
So it's so funny because I used to give my kids a hard time because they wanted to be influencers. And here we are with a podcast. Yeah. I'm such a hypocrite.
Oh, I know.
I'm such a hypocrite.
We're
but
awful.
There is parts of technology that I do appreciate, right? So now that Chloe is driving and Charlie, when she started driving, having Life 360 and knowing where they are.
Yeah.
Also,
I was actually going to ask you about that because since Bryant's about to get out for him.
So I have it both ways. We have Life 360 because it'll tell me how fast she's going.
Yeah.
That's why I like that.
Yeah.
And if she hard braked and certain things like that we can work on.
Yeah.
But the Find My Phone too, because then I also have a double location. And if my parents had double locations, I would have been grounded from the time I was 14 until I literally moved out of the house. I was not a good teenager. We would be in so much trouble.
Yeah.
Maybe not you.
Might.
She was an angel.
No, I wasn't. And I went to one party my entire high school career.
Yeah, I threw the party of the high school career.
You did. And Betty, when my mama found out, she came over to my friend Rachel's house to look for me, and we were gone. We were at the party. Rachel's mama called and said, Amber's mom's here, and you guys need to get to this house right now. And we raced home. I got in so much trouble.
I think that's why I'm so strict, is because I know what I was doing in high school. Now I've lightened up a ton. Poor Charlie got the brunt of it.
Yeah.
Because the
The
first
one
always
always
does.
does.
The first
Sorry,
one always does.
Charlie.
And Bryant.
Yeah, right.
But you live and you learn, and you kind of realize, okay, this worked, this didn't, and how do we drop and punt? And so, the social media pressures, my thing is that not everybody's a size 2 supermodel.
Yeah, so you're comparing. Like, our girls have had to grow up, and even,
we had Glamour and Cosmopolitan magazine, but
you only had that if you decided you wanted to buy it.
Right.
Like, with social media, everything is so in your face, and you're comparing yourself to other people that you see.
AI.
There you go. Even AI.
Yeah. And then there's always Chloe passed Spanish because she had ChatGPT and Duolingo. Are they doing the work? Cyberbullying.
Yeah, so we didn't have to deal with that either. You could leave if you were being bullied at school or whatever, you could go home and you didn't have to take it home with you.
Yeah. Cyberbullying, I actually have a friend who they're dealing with this with their son right now, and it's really been bad. Like, he did something and it's following him. And so these kids use it to manipulate and to bully. And so that's such a horrible thing. And as parents, we need to make sure that we're telling our kids bullying isn't just at school. Sometimes it's the things that are said on text.
And I think they know they're living through some of it, or they're seeing other people live through it. And it really, that is one thing that I'm so glad that we didn't have to go through. But then we're also having to go through it in a different way because we're having to parent it, or try to parent it, or try to help.
But we're staying on it too long. So we're just as guilty. I'm just as guilty before bed scrolling, or it got so bad at one point I took everything off my phone. Because if I would get the blue circle of death through the computer program I use for mortgages, in that 30-second period, I'm scrolling. Well, so then what happens is you start scrolling and you're like, oh, it stopped thinking. Okay.
I was really good before this podcast about managing social media, not being on it.
Or social media.
Oh, God, I hate it. Y'all used to laugh at me because I would post like twice a year, and it would be like 6 months worth of stuff.
She would. She'd post a quarter 1 or quarter 2.
It was like, here's what we've been up to in the past half a year.
Yeah, it was really. And so it is chasing likes. We're guilty of it right now because we're constantly watching our podcast numbers going up. Are people liking? Are they engaging? And it becomes addicting.
It can be addicting.
It is so addicting.
Yes. And so that's something that we have to try to manage, because also we want to treat this as a business as well.
You never know the tone, right? So you can have a phone conversation, but people don't have phone conversations. These teen girls, not even teen girls, it's happening even in Sammy's age, 4th grade.
Yeah.
Kids will say stuff and you can't understand the tone.
Yes.
And so then,
because it's written through text.
Right. Yeah. And so then all of a sudden it starts like this group chat of yada yada. So it's like, and then it's harder to tell kids, go work it out amongst yourselves.
Yeah.
Now, used to, you could sit there and everybody could see the emotion and they could see the intent.
Yeah.
Now it's so hard to see that I think that there's a lot more drama.
Oh, there is. And I've had to tell Hartley, just stay out of it. Just stay out of it. Bryant is really good about that. Like, he'll even say stuff. He's like, I do not want to get involved in anything. He's like, I'm good. That's one reason why I think he hasn't really tried to have a girlfriend as much, because he doesn't want to deal with the drama that comes with it. So
it's hard too, because we talk about privacy versus safety.
Yeah.
And so the other day I had grabbed Sammy's iPod.
Yeah.
And she's like, what are you doing? I'm like, oh no, girlfriend, mommy's going to go through and make sure that everything's on the up and up. But you don't want him to delete stuff, right?
No.
Because you want them to know that you trust them, but that it's like a fine line. Mommy wants to see to make sure that everything's okay. How do you do that?
Well, because everybody has like their own personal privacy, I guess, right? And so you want to give your child space and privacy, but you also have the responsibility of protecting them as well. And so in my mind, I think that the protecting them by far outweighs the giving them their personal privacy. I think there's some things that probably would cross the line, but my kids know if I want to check their phone, I'm going to check their phone. We're going to have phone checks. And a lot of times I can tell if something's going on, if one of them's acting nervous. about me having their phone.
Right.
And then
Yes.
and then when they do that, I get to dig in even more. But they know, like, that phone is a privilege.
It is a privilege.
And Bryant laughs because when I go check his stuff, he's like, yeah, what'd you find? What'd you find? You know, because
he's probably deleting it.
no, I haven't.
She thinks her kid is so innocent.
No, I don't. I know. But anyways, he laughs. So Bryant's friends, I do go through his phone. Just
Now,
so you know.
I stopped going through Charlie's phone her junior year, but I remember her sophomore year. I said, okay, let's have a contest.
Yeah.
Because she wanted me to take off screen time. And I said, I'm going to take it off for the week. And let's see what your time comes in at.
Yeah.
54 hours of screen time.
Woo!
I'm like, Charlie, you could have worked a job.
Full-time job.
And gone to
Full-time
school.
job.
When are you even doing schoolwork? So then I put it back on and I had the conversation with her. Listen, I'm not trying to be this parent that's over the top. I said, but I want you to do other things than just be on your phone. You know, I want you to go hang out with your friends. I want you to go to the movies. And it's computer games too. And it's also video games. It's not just
no. And that's where Bryant says it's not necessarily he's as bad with his phone. It's the video games and the phone. Like when you start putting both of them, it's like having a full-time job. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I think the hardest part about being a parent, especially right now in this age and trying to manage the phones and the social media and all of this stuff is that it's like you have to evolve with the times. Obviously, you can't just stay stuck in a rotary dialing phone or whatever.
Right.
I think the thing is having a good boundary with it, but
well, you were telling me something earlier that this generation about
the anxious. That's where I was going with that. Thank you. You know me and my ADD. Anyway, so it's having a balance with it because you can't stay stuck in the past, but also they are so much on the phones. There's a whole book called The Anxious Generation, and it's about how this generation that we have now growing up are so much more prone to anxiety and depression. And a lot of people are pointing to the fact that it's because they're on the screens all the time. They're raised by an algorithm.
They're also taught things that we didn't hear about.
No.
I mean, medicines that are getting pushed on TV.
Yes.
Everybody, are you depressed? Are you anxious? I mean, it's like these kids know things that I had no idea
And because
about.
of the internet. I saw this hilarious comedian that talked about how back in his day, the internet was like further in the back of the bus that you went, the more you heard about the worst things. If you, like, the younger kids were usually
I sat on the back of the bus, girl. I know.
So the sitting in the back of the bus was like the worldwide, like logging onto the internet and finding out about all this bad stuff. He said it a lot more funny than me, but you know.
Yes. I mean,
I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah. So I found something on Instagram that I wanted to share that is from a parenting coach. And it's 7 honest conversations to have with your middle schoolers about screens. Dopamine's only part of the story. It's some good information that I really liked. Some questions that you can have with your kids. What do you really like about your iPad or your phone? Is it the break, the connection? What does it give you? How does it make you feel? Actually have that conversation with your kids.
Right.
Not, it's bad for you.
Yeah.
So instead of saying that, like, how do you feel after you've been on your phone for a while? Because I'll say, it's addicting.
Yeah.
Instead of saying, does it make you feel better? Does it make you feel more stressed? I know that I have to cut my phone off an hour before I go to bed. Otherwise, my cortisol levels are through the roof.
Yeah, we were talking about that. And I said that I didn't do a lot of scrolling or a lot of social media stuff until we got this podcast. I've told you, if I'm sending you stuff, I'm having a scrolling moment. It doesn't happen often, but whenever it happens at night, I can't go to sleep as well.
And I think it's having these kind of conversations instead of just saying it's addictive and you don't need to do it, because kids want to have that independence. And so when we start making it feel, and I think that that's where I went wrong with how I did it with Charlie, is that it was my way or no way.
Yeah.
And there was no communication.
Yeah.
And so when you don't have that two-way communication, I think that it makes them resent you and feel like you're suffocating them and not giving them the independence that they start craving at that 12, 13 age.
And I do think that because that's a lot of times parents just want to say, do it my way and listen to my rules.
And I got that honestly, Chuck.
Chuck,
sure.
It's all your fault. I think for me, when I grew up, my parents, they did have good conversations with me, and I was able to say how I felt and have input. So I have kind of brought that into with my kids.
You're
so I will,
lucky.
but sometimes you do need to cut it off. And,
Oh.
you give them their chance to say what they need to say, but sometimes you have to draw a line too. So.
No, Chuck said, when I say jump, you better ask how high.
Oh, Chuck.
Yeah, that's what Chuck said.
I love Chuck.
There was no negotiating with Chuck.
No negotiating.
No negotiating. Yes, not at all. So another question was, when do you notice it's hardest to get off? And then ask them, is it when you're bored? Are you trying to avoid something?
Yeah.
Is it because you're switching tasks? You just need to make them part of the conversation. Have you noticed what feels harder after you've been on screen for a while? When a brain gets used too fast and constant screens impact that, does it make them lose their temper faster?
Yeah. Or a game.
We've learned that in order to get people to like stuff that we post, we have to have a hook within 3 seconds because a consumer's
your attention span, it's awful.
Right. And so we're training our kids' brains to jump and jump and jump. That's why we have to make sure that we have slower paced activities too.
Yeah.
Baseball,
Mm-hmm.
tennis, sports. I do think that it's important.
Were we slower paced today in tennis?
Yeah. We got our butt kicked.
We got a big loss today.
Yeah.
We did not snatch up a win.
We did not. And then also, do you ever feel like you're not choosing it and it's choosing you? Do they feel like they're becoming addicted to it? And I think sometimes kids will answer the questions honestly. Like, what would help you feel more balanced?
Right.
And then my job as your parent is to look out for you even when it's not your favorite. I'm not here to control you. I also won't ignore what I see because I care about your sleep. I care about how you feel. I care about your friendships and your brain. We're going to keep talking about this. And I've shown my kids articles. It's not just mom. I'm not just the crazy one. There's proof behind it. I think that making sure your kid's responsible enough. For us, we don't do phones during family mealtime. That is our hard stop. Nobody's allowed on their phone. A couple weeks ago, I was on my phone and Chloe's like, what are you doing?
She called you out.
She called me out.
Way to go, Chloe.
Yes. And she called me out and she's like, nope. I was doing something for work and it needed to be done. But still, that's our rule. Nothing at dinner time. We go around the table and say favorite part of the day, which we actually picked up from some friends of ours.
That's cute.
We go through and it just makes you engage with your kids, having that time and ask favorite part of the day and then worst part of the day.
We've started doing these little cards. Would you rather? Would you rather? And I've enjoyed that with them. It'll create a whole discussion. And meanwhile, 2 hours later, we're still sitting there and I'm like, okay, it's time for bed.
Yeah.
But it is good. I love that. So.
And then one of Sammy's friends, they have a rule where all the phones stay in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And I love that.
I know. I've tried really hard to implement that. I've really tried. And I cannot seem to check myself with making sure that the phones are not in the room. So that is a hard one.
Sammy's phone does cut off an hour before bedtime.
Yeah.
I probably should cut screen time out, like TV time out too, but her phone cuts off at 8 and then she's in bed by 9.
They love to listen to music when they're going to bed. And so they listen on their phones. And then I was like, well, I'll get you an Alexa and then you can listen to the music through that. Well, then I had the Alexa. I don't know exactly what happened to the Alexa. Not really sure where it went or whatever. They probably hid it so that they can have their phone.
Yeah.
So
there's good things because, hey, we talked to, in our last parenting session about when they're 3 or 4 and they don't want to leave you alone and you just want to enjoy your dinner.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, here, have my phone.
Right.
Here, have my phone.
You throw that iPad at them.
And the restaurants got even smarter. They put those little things on the table.
Yeah, where they can play the games on there.
Yes.
Exactly.
So, there are benefits, right?
100%.
For long trips.
There are. And I do like being able to get in touch with my kid wherever they're at. I love that part. So there are benefits and there are advantages to having it. It probably does.
Yeah, I think it does make us helicopter parents.
So, like you said, if they would have known, if you would have had a Life 360 on you, Chuck wouldn't have let you out of the house again.
My dad knew. He knew. He had to know. I think that there's benefits to it. Obviously, road trips. We used to sing 99 bottles of milk on the wall. And now these kids are entertained.
Watching a movie.
First it was TVs in the car. And now they can take their TVs. We have Wi-Fi in our car.
Yeah.
These kids are spoiled and they have that technology. But, hey, it's keeping them entertained.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So why not?
Yeah. Why not? There are, I think, certain benefits to it, but I think you have to sit there and weigh what are the boundaries.
Exactly. It's a balance between where it's actually helpful and beneficial and take away some of the cons where they're constantly on it 24/7.
Well, some good friends of ours, they have let their kids have Instagram and TikTok, but they're on it with them all the time.
Yeah.
It's like the teen account, and they're doing the dances and stuff with them. And,
Yes.
and they're only allowed to have friends. I think it's what works for you. I'm not passing any judgment. I'm just saying what I have done and why I make the decisions
I agree.
that I
And then,
make.
too, you've got to think different kids have different maturity levels. They
Yeah.
mature at different ages. So if your kid is more responsible with it because they're more mature at an earlier age, then great. They can probably handle it more than other kids. Hartley was actually pushing for that for her TikTok account, that I could manage the whole thing. I would have the password. It would be on my phone. Just let her post her artwork on there. We're in talks.
She's a salesperson.
We're in talks currently.
She is such a salesperson.
She's a mess.
Ah.
You gotta love it.
All right, Amber. Snatched up or sketched out?
Yay. Our favorite game.
Okay. Oh, this is a big one for my kids. Posting your child online without permission. I've already told y'all that my kids think I'm a Teletubby.
Yeah.
They cannot stand, especially now that they're older, if it's a bad picture of them, which
Yes.
we don't like it, right?
No,
So
you don't like
why
it when it
do-
happens to you.
Right. But, Amber loves to post bad pictures of me where she looks really good and I look terrible.
I do not. It's not on purpose.
It's okay though. It's okay. I don't care.
Whatever.
But
She lies.
my kids have a big problem with that, and so I'm going to say it is sketched out.
I would say it's sketched out too. Now, I think when they're younger and you're wanting to post the pictures of them, but once they get to the point where they have their own social media accounts and they have friends that are going to be looking at stuff, like one of Bryant's friends was joking the other day, because I told him, I do not want to listen to this song one more time. And his friend was like, oh, how about we listen to the podcast? And so once they get old enough to where they have their own social media, you should be respectful and probably
Actually,
not post.
some other friend, Gabby, she was like, Miss Jennifer, I can't even listen to your podcast because it's explicit and it doesn't allow me because I'm not 18. And so
she's mad. She was mad because she couldn't listen to it.
Some of our episodes are explicit, but a lot of them
are not. No.
Yeah.
And really, that's just telling you our horror dating experiences that we've had. So you don't have to go through those.
Yes.
Hopefully.
All right. So do you think tracking your child's location 24/7?
I think that is snatched up. I already track it. And once he gets his license, it will be enforced even more so.
So I think it is snatched up to a extent. I think once they leave your house,
they track my location.
But that's the other
thing. They asked me.
I know. So I think that it has to become a discussion. Once you're in college, I think, is this something you're comfortable with, Mom? I wanted to have it for Charlie because she was going 8 hours away to school.
I think safety. No,
safety, I wanted to have that. But at the same token, I wasn't looking at it all the time. I mean, she was in college. So you can go do what you want to do.
Once they get that age and they're off and they're living their own life and stuff like that, I think, great, have for safety purposes, but I wouldn't be tracking it 24/7.
I mean, I do have Amber's location. She does. Because she shared it with me when she was going on dates.
Yeah, you need to share it with me.
I know. Now these kids share their location with everybody. So why not? They're friends.
Too,
all right, reading your child's text messages.
Snatched up.
Snatched up for me too.
Yeah. So
now, again, after Charlie's junior year, I did not do it anymore. That was her business.
Yeah.
So I think that there's a time that you have to trust them to
I
make
think
good
so
decisions.
Too. Yeah, because you need to let them make
in
their
a year
own
she was going to be
mistakes,
leaving my house.
Yeah, that's true. And I will say now, like, Bryant's phone checks have become
less
and less. Yeah. You know.
Letting kids fail.
I think that's snatched up. And actually, I've told you that.
Hold on. To the mom who did her kid's homework last year.
I did not do his homework at all. I helped with one assignment, and that's because he had a concussion and he
got her a hard time.
He got far behind. But I was also constantly checking. They're great because now, you can check their grades. I would check their grades to make sure that they were doing everything, to see what they had. And I just got to a point where I'm like, I cannot constantly check on their stuff all the time. Like, they have to be responsible enough to do it. So what did I do? I stopped saying, hey, looks like you got a missing assignment. What happened on this grade? Blah, 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 blah. And I gave them enough freedom to do
themselves.
Yeah, basically. And that's exactly what happened this semester for Bryant. And I told him, I was like, you are going to come across a teacher who's not going to let you wait all semester to turn your stuff in.
Mm-hmm.
And it finally happened where they actually stopped him. And I had to sit there and tell him, you cannot be mad at her for that.
Yeah.
She's doing her job. I said, as much as I hate it for you, you knew what you were supposed to do. And he did. He's like, I was wrong in not turning the stuff in when it was due. But then he wants to go back. But no other teacher has ever done this. I was like, I don't care. She is the queen of that classroom. And so you have to respect her rules. What she sets is how it goes. She was really sweet about it. She even emailed me and I told her, I understand where you're coming from. You didn't turn it in on time. You took off 10 points per day. It was brutal, but he deserved it. He didn't turn it in.
So my kids, my rule is you have to have A's and B's.
Yes.
Or you lose your phone.
Yeah.
Now, there's a caveat to that. If you try and you get a C or even an F, because there's no D's in our school system, then I'm okay with that as long as you tried. If you didn't grasp the concept and you failed the class because you didn't grasp the concept,
that's different.
Then that is different. But if you weren't turning in work, you were turning in assignments late, you weren't studying, and you get
that's different.
then your phone's gone. It's mine.
Yeah.
That's a choice that you make.
Yeah.
And so that's our rule. Okay, so kids paying rent at 18 after they've graduated high school.
Snatched Up.
I think Snatched Up too. Although it was
after high school, yes.
It was a battle because I told Charlie when she wanted to leave school, she wanted to come home and she wasn't going to go to college. She would pay $500 in rent. Now, what I didn't tell Charlie is I would take that $500 of rent and I would put it towards her down payment when she went to buy a house.
Yeah.
I do think that if you're not going to go to college and you're going to have a job and you're going to live at home, then you need to contribute.
Well, yeah. And that's what I told Brian. I was like, you're not sitting at my house playing video games all day. You're going to do something.
Yeah.
So, I mean.
But I think you have to start teaching your kids responsibility and it comes with choices.
It does.
Yes. Taking the phone away is punishment. So. Yeah, that's Snatched Up, in my opinion.
Snatched Up, too, even though it's a battle.
Yes.
And a struggle. So, what about making kids earn everything? Yeah.
So, you know me. I mean, I do. I have a really strong work ethic. And I know that is because my dad made us earn everything. Like, I was never a kid that had a silver spoon, even though my dad was wealthy.
Yeah.
And so we worked for everything that we had.
Yeah.
And I want to instill that in my kids.
Yeah.
The entitlement thing where you give every single thing to your kid and they just expect it.
Yes. That's what you want to keep from
happening. I want to keep from happening.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And so I want them to understand that their car is a privilege.
Yeah.
Their phone is a privilege. They are mine.
Yeah.
And when you live under my rules,
yeah,
my house, my rules.
Yeah.
And my dad had a saying, he who has the gold maketh the rules.
I love that.
Yeah.
He's got so many good. We need to get him on here.
There are Chuckisms for
sure.
We
need to get him on here so he can, give.
And I'm not saying it's all healthy by any stretch of the imagination, but I will say that it instilled in me the value of money, the value of your time, the value of working hard and getting something from it.
So, and I would say yes to a certain degree on that it's Snatched Up. I think that they shouldn't have to earn everything because there's certain things, obviously, as a parent that you are required. You know what I mean. But I mean, no, some people make kids feel like they owe them everything because they are taking care of them, and that is not. No. Like, your job as a parent is to provide for them and do certain things for them. Now, like you said, you want them to grow up and appreciate the things. So my thing is they should be grateful for and earn.
That's why that phone is a want. It's not a need, and it's a privilege. It is. Yeah,
100%.
And so
is the car, and
and the social media and all the things.
So we also have a Child of the Month award to give out,
which we promised, and boy, it has been hard to decide.
It really has. It came down really close to it. Hartley took herself out of the running for it early on by letting me know she did not care to participate at all.
That girl, I swear.
I know, I love her. She's a mess. And Brian also said, forget Child of the Month award. We're going to have a Parent of the Month award. And he already told me you were going to win.
Oh, that boy is making us brownies as we speak.
I know.
Or at least you better be.
Yeah, you better be home making those brownies, boy. So Bryant had helped out a lot. He knows I've been really busy. And so he has actually done a lot of the cooking lately, which has been really, really nice. And he's helped out a lot more. And then also we were watching a little puppy for one of our good friends, Pam.
Right.
So
and Bryant and Chloe have been neck and neck.
Yes, neck and neck.
Neck and neck.
They're amazing.
Well, I'm in the process of moving. And so Chloe helped me get the house staged and ready.
Which is amazing.
Yes. So, drum roll. All right, Bryant, this one's going to you for helping your mama lately. Chloe, you have more work to do because we're still moving, so we have more packing to do. So you need to step up, girl, so you can win. Well, I will say, parenting in 2026 is honestly, it's a giant experiment.
Yes, because none of us grew up with social media, AI, smartphones, or location sharing thrown at our kids every single day.
And we're all just really trying to keep our kids safe, even though they think that we're trying to be controlling. We're trying to keep them safe and teach them how to function in the real world.
Yeah. And some days you're going to absolutely nail it.
And some days you're going to negotiate screen time while we're scrolling on our own phones and being hypocrites.
That's right. So, guys, we would love to hear from you. What is your biggest parenting challenge with tech and social media?
And we wanted you to head to our page at Snatched Up Podcast and please like and follow. And that's on Instagram and TikTok
at Snatched Up Podcast. You can also email us at snatcheduppodcast@gmail.com. We might feature your response on a future episode. So if you're enjoying Snatched Up, make sure that you are subscribed wherever you guys listen.
New episodes are going to drop every Wednesday.
And next week, we are talking about GLP-1s, weight, hormone replacement therapy,
hot flashes, and hot shots.
That's right. So until next time, let's get snatched up.